Hello everyone, this is the LEGO Star Wars The Last Jedi Resistance Bomber set. To many of us, this looks like kind of a cross between a Nebulon B frigate and a B-wing. I guess they could have called this a T-wing based on its shape. I'm glad they didn't though. This, to me, is one of the more sensibly designed vehicles in the Star Wars universe, I'd say, at least flying thing. One of the first things I want to point out about the LEGO model though is that it is standing up on its own. I have not used any cheater pieces. There is no actual stand, separate stand that has to hold this up. In spite of how tall it is and how heavy it is up top, it's able to hold itself up just fine. The only thing that's a little bit weird here is that this lower turret, which is manable and looks really good to me, is off the ground. But as soon as you pick this up, that just falls into place the way that it's intended to look. That does use a printed piece right there, which is very nice. There's another printed piece on the other side, so those match up, and you can get into this thing very easily by just opening it up. And it also has another printed piece inside, just a console part. So all that is good. This does not actually shoot. They didn't force any stud shooters into this. They just have these more realistic scaled cannons, and it makes a lot of sense for this to exist in the in-universe design because you need a lot of tail gunning power in a bomber because most of the time fighters are going to be behind you. It's one of the reasons this makes a whole lot of sense to me. Also, with this vertical space, you get enough room to have some good leverage from reaction control thrusters that can be towards the ends, and it has these little winglets that, again, can give you nice leverage from reaction control systems. Now those are not simulated here, but I'm assuming that there would be something like that built into those surfaces. Lots of engines back here, so if you take out one, you'll still be able to go. You take out two, still be able to go. That's pretty cool, and I like how this is designed in Lego form. Some different textures used in there. The building process was actually really cool. There are a lot of really interesting techniques used. A lot of interesting planning, I would say, was done in the design of the assembly of this, how everything goes together to make it all just fit in the end. This does have a couple of spring-loaded shooters built into the body. You can see just the front of that, but it's fully integrated in. The best sort of integration that I ever see from Legos when they completely hide things away. Hide away the mechanism. The firing trigger button is right there. I mean, it just looks like a piece of the detail, a few pieces of greebling right there. You push that and it causes the thing to shoot out. You wouldn't even know that it was really there unless you saw just the front end of this. So that's actually quite well done. This is a printed canopy piece right here, and the rest of the decorations on the outside are stickers. Some of those are large, but I think they are very important. This has a good amount of greebling. These winglets are not able to go up and down. You see that there are ratcheting joints used at the base, but then they kind of stabilize it right here. There's a lot of open space on the inside of this thing, but I want to take you through the exterior first. Nice small little bubble canopy there, and more tail gunning firepower back here. This is an identical unit to the one that's down below. It's built exactly the same, attached exactly the same way. It's just able to kind of rotate from side to side, and it does follow gravity a little bit. I got this one down here stuck, but both of those try to follow gravity a little bit, just kind of with the style of the B-wing canopy set up in cockpit. And then you've got more guns back here, so these can fire towards the rear. These do have stud shooters built into them, but I think those are also integrated pretty nicely. I think they actually add to the looks of this thing. And if you just leave off the stud piece itself, I don't know, I think I actually like it better with the stud on there. You can also use these to fire forward if you want to, although potentially that could start to interfere with the wings, so maybe this is mostly for protecting the rear quarters of the thing. These are not able to turn side to side though, just up and down. One thing that's especially pleasing about the look of the entire Lego model here, to me, is the hiding of anti-studs and undersides of plates and such. The only places where you really see anti-studs prominently are underneath these small winglets. If you look at the thing from underneath, you know, with it basically over your head. And those really don't bother me too much. They look textured there, but not too bad. This whole surface is attached to a center kind of spine. And then this whole surface is attached to a center kind of spine. They're almost symmetrical from side to side. You've got nice tiling going down the front, and then the back here is covered up pretty well. You do get to see just a couple small pieces here, but I mean, just overall, this is well presented as a Lego model, in addition to it being, I think, just a sensible thing in universe. So a couple of really good things going for it. But there's another, because this has another major action feature. Yeah, you got the little shooters around here, but it's supposed to be a bomber, so it needs to bomb. This is the bombing trigger that allows you to drop bombs out the base of this thing down here. You push that in and out comes well, kind of looks like a rabbit poop pellet, but it's actually a black Zamor sphere. For folks who remember Bionicle, these have also been used in a number of different themes. But yeah, it's just designed to drop one out at a time, and there are 6 of them stored in the thing. That's pretty cool. And it's just completely integrated. So if you don't want to see that, you don't have to. But if you want to play with this, you can grab it from this nice sturdy spine. You can watch the turrets move around. You can put people in there. You can turn this around. You can shoot from here. You can use these hidden buttons to shoot with the spring-loaded shooters. You can bring your thumb around the back of this, bomb things. It all works out great. And once you've used up all of your bombs inside, you can just put them back right from here. So simple. Just drop them in. It's like loading up a candy machine. Drop them right in, and you're good to go. They automatically settle into place. This mechanism does not get caught. In my experience so far, it just dispenses one of these things at a time. I think they could have gone for a different color, but just a little bit awkward there. But I get it, and it makes sense, and it works really well. Now here I've put some people into the thing to show you how minifigs actually get integrated in. So this is a tight fit here, but it does work. And then you get this observation port for a rear gunner or defense person. I'm not sure what that person specifically is going to be doing in this. I'm assuming operating these cannons, but head just barely sticks up there. And then you've got the cockpit in the front, which actually has space for 2 people. But before I get to that, I want to show you another interior space. All of this opens up, just comes off. Shows you a pretty generous interior space for something that has so much in the way of action features built into it. So there's just that one seat there, nothing really in front of it. This is the Bombardier's position, and it just has a console right there and a chair that actually can rotate around. Too bad he doesn't have any more consoles or other small things, but certainly you can put just little bits of stuff in there. These are dark pearl gray colored or gunmetal gray colored studs. I love that color for that piece. It's got just a little bit of a window towards the front that actually does let some light through from the cockpit, in spite of the fact that you have these bomb loading doors up here. So that's integrated nicely to give you a little bit of pass through there. And then the cockpit itself, the main cockpit, actually removes to the front, has room for the pilot there, who gets 3 printed consoles, all in one type, and then there's another printed console back there facing towards the rear, navigator or something like that, or it could be, yeah, I would expect that to be a navigator. I don't know, maybe it could be another weapons officer, but faces towards the rear, gets another printed console, and allows you to put a bunch of people into this. I mean, just with actual seats that they have in this, you get 2 here, 2 here, that's 4, and then 2 gunners, so 6 people will fit into this, plus there's space for more. Left to right here are the pilot, bombardier, and gunner, or one of the gunners. The gunner on the right is named Paige. The other 2 characters are not named on the box of this set, but we may find that they will be assigned names in universe, probably. Usually that stuff comes out in the visual dictionary and other books and other material, but all of these look really good. Now, they do use the same prints for torsos and hips and legs, even though there are two different genders represented here. Hooray for gender-neutral torsos that allow Lego pieces to be interchanged like Lego pieces should be. I think this works out great, and those helmets, as always, look great. Lego is always at the top of its game when it comes to printing up Rebel, or in this case Resistance, helmets. Just really nice variations there, surely based on concept art or incomplete art, so when we see these in the actual film or in extra footage or extra photos in other media, they may not be exact. They tend to sometimes be changed by the time they make it to the final production, but they're usually pretty close. And you do get alternate faces for all of them. Sweet. So let me just line these up so you see the matching faces together with the masks on. Cool. I guess the cabins aren't pressurized, or maybe they are, just not fully, or I don't know, maybe it's just for backup, or maybe it's just for that World War II bomber crew kind of look. This set includes the exclusive Vice Admiral Holdo minifig, and all sorts of puns can be made with her name. Like, you could go with a book of Where's Holdo? You could go for Holdo from Game of Thrones. You could take it in the Holdo way kind of direction. I mean, just all sorts of things can be done with that. But this is a figure that collectors will certainly be longing for. I think it's a good one that will stand out. I think it's well done too, particularly with the print on the torso, just especially the top section of it, how they did the folds of the fabric there. I think that's pretty nice. Even though there's no print for the hip or the legs, I think it's still pretty cool and good color for the hairpiece. The other figure is another Poe Dameron, and I don't know what his specific context is for this. I don't know if he'll actually be in a bomber in the movie or not, but just another figure of him in another suit. And once again, good job with the print for the cloth on the back of the Vice Admiral there. And she gets an alternate face. Of course, Poe gets an alternate face as well. So that worked out really, really well. I like the in-universe design of the thing, and I like Lego's rendition of it in their model form in terms of how it looks. And then how it works is just fantastic. Great use of space, plenty of space to put all sorts of minifigures in here that look like they're going to be doing something, that look like they really contribute to the model and wherever you put it. You can grab the thing and swoosh it around easily. It has the bombing feature, it has the optional spring-loaded shooting feature, the stud shooters, all that is integrated in really well, I think. Also has lots of printed pieces, does have some stickers as well, but I think it's balanced off nicely, and I appreciate the printed pieces, especially since they're on curved parts. And there's the price, $110 or thereabouts in the US. 780 pieces. Yes, some of the pieces are large, so 780 pieces, I could see it being $80. I think would be a great price for it. 90, yeah, I could see that for its size and for its level of detail and functions and number of figures and everything. Yep. 100, man, that's pushing it. That's right at the edge, and they went farther than that. I like it so much. It looks so good. I mean, the price isn't ridiculous, way out there, completely out of the question. It's close to the realm of high reasonability. I think you should not be ashamed if you have the money to buy this and you want it. I think that you will really, really like what you get. But as a reviewer, as someone critiquing the set and everything about it, just the initial retail price looks to be the one thing that's not quite so good about it. So there you go, that's it for my yapping about this set. Hope that I showed you everything you wanted to see here, all the major features and important angles. I have many more reviews to do coming up in the near future and the mid to distant future, with reviews as well as custom stuff. So I hope that you will stay with me and check out more, because more is always on the way. Bye for now.